bring him up is because he's the modern day type of lifesaver, so to speak. I'm referring to Elon Musk. It's got these two big companies, Tesla, SpaceX. Their logos are definitely something we should discuss. I know we've done a bit of a decode in the past, but we should definitely look into that because they make me think a little bit. He's got a lot of controversy recently through the new Trump organization when he won. This was an international meme. It went around the world. Was it an accident? Maybe. But, I mean, to do that exactly and call it fun, that looks like a Hitler salute to me. I could be wrong. And guys, I could be misled. This is why we're having this roundtable discussion. On Halloween, he decided to wear this particular costume, this outfit. This was the front of it. He looked like a soldier. I don't know if it's a demonic god or the Antichrist. He has the bull there. It could be the goat of Mindy's with an upside down cross. Now, if you thought that that was a coincidence or that's not what it was, the back of his costume also has an upside down cross. That's the front. Elon Musk, who claims to want to save us and help us, but he's doing these really weird things that are setting me off. This is someone that I think we need to have a discussion about because I don't know what to think. And I'd like both your opinions because maybe both of you come from a different perspective. But to me, he kind of comes across as a false prophet. He's not really telling us things that are to be real. So let's begin with you, Jesse, because I know you have a thought on it, and I think Gary has a different one. So here it is.
Well, I would start with, as we look at that, how do we classify a false prophet? And then, even those that come in guise, how do we classify that? We know in scripture that it says that they're going to arise in the last days and that, these false prophets, they're going to bring in false spirits. They're going to, bring in lies. They're going to be away from the truth. It says that they do things, Micah 2:6, that they're going to gain access to positions of authority in order to control. We know also that there's going to be a connection to ungodliness or lawlessness. As some scripture says, I would connect it to those that are lovers of self, pleasure, and money rather than God. And so we know, about this, the New World Order, those that are behind the push for the false prophets, the false Christ, what is behind them? You have this form of ungodliness. It looks good. It looks like it's godly. They present themselves as Christians or as good people, but really they don't have that relationship with God, nor do they do the things of God. Well, here's where we get an interesting shift because, I would propose that Elon was born into that system, that there were things that as a child he was trained for. Were there end time things he was trained for? I would, propose that there probably were. And with that in mind, we know that New World Order, their goal is to usher in the last times and to usher in the Antichrist. Yet, all of a sudden, we're seeing this exposure. And this is not normal. This isn't something that these high-level members do. They have certain people who are going to be their face front people who are allowed to display certain things, but never really what is in the background of the system. Like they don't want people to know how the system really works or operates. They're going to keep that information that keeps the system going most hidden. So here's where we get this very interesting dynamic because all of a sudden you have Musk stepping into the scene. And what is he doing? All we can classify it as is auditing all the branches of our government, the judicial, the legislative, the executive branches, and holding them to account. Not only that, airing all of their dirty laundry, everything that they're using to, in guise to funnel money, to gain access to countries, to children, to, governments. I mean, literally, that's all being aired and displayed, which is something that, we aren't going to see. Now, even that, the video that we saw of him doing the Heil, basically what people would classify as that Heil Hitler sign, that's interesting because the only way that is, it's a military allegiance, but it's usually only done in connection to, it's a salute to those who are higher in level than you. And so what's interesting is that, he does that salute and he says, to the people, I give you my heart. Well, Nazis aren't for the people. They're not going to work for the people. That's who they want to control. So there's some interesting dynamics in there that we have to bring to the forefront. Another interesting thing is he just recently did an interview with Joe Rogan. And in that interview, I, being somebody who is out of this same system, I have to say at this point, Elon has broken his brotherhood oaths that he has taken in blood. He has broken the code of silence. He's been airing the system's dirty laundry. He has broken the code of brotherhood, which says that, you have a duty to, to care for your brothers, to love them, which means that, whatever your brother's need is, you're going to meet it. The other part of that is that you have a duty to cover your brother's sins to all extent of the means. Now, Elon has broken that blood oath. And he states in that interview with Joe Rogan, that he can't reveal the whole system. Well, I have had the same issue, and why does he say? He says, because they'll kill me. I absolutely agree with that. What he's doing, what I see, he's going against his circle groups. Even interestingly enough, we see his mother, who definitely was in elite circle groups, being present with him a lot and fully supporting him in every way going forward, which you would not have happen. You wouldn't have that happen in the system. They're going to protect the other members of the circle group. If you're standing with somebody that is standing against the system, you're basically a defector too. You're just in trouble with all of that with the system. So, that's what I would say about what I see about that situation. So to me, I would kind of challenge. I don't see him rising into a position as a false prophet. I don't see him bringing a false gospel or a false Christ or a false spirit at this point. I kind of just see the physical, very much the financial, being there, presenting the auditing,
Okay.
which is way out of his,
I want to,
that's not what he was trained for.
I get it, but I want to respond